All right, on this episode of Net Lease TV, we're heading to San Clemente, and we're going to see a crown jewel Carl's Jr. property called Karcher's family owned the property since the 70s. I know the property because that's where I went to high school. I lived in Cypress Shores, which is a private community, prestigious community, right on the beach in San Clemente, and that's where Carl lived. And this was kind of his go-to, Carl's Jr., one of his favorites. And so it's for sale right now. And in fact, it's going into foreclosure. So I'll get you up to speed on that. So this should be an interesting Net Lease TV. Enjoy.
Lease TV.
Woo! All right, there it is. We're coming in. Cristanitos is the off-ramp. We're right at the border between Orange County, San Diego County, and here's the location. As I mentioned, this is a very famous location. Trestles is known as one of the best surf spots, and the trail is right to the left over here is where it is. There's Cypress Shores where Carl Karcher used to live, and we'll take a drive over there and check out his house shortly. Here we are, we're coming in. As you can see, there's a lot of surfers, a lot of hungry surfers that are going to this Carl's Jr. They said this property, I believe, is number 1 out of 5 in 15 miles. And so anyway, as you can see, there's kind of I think this is a parking for like the state park. But right here is the location we're coming in. It's got a lot of parking. From what I remember when I used to come, there's a lot of 18-wheelers, truckers that can park. As you can see, it's a huge parking space. It's got a tremendous amount of parking. And so it's very well known with the surfers. After they surf, they go here, have a superstar. Let's check it out. Let's check out the location. I'm gonna park and let's check it out. All right, so let's just kind of take a look around. Again, there's your truckers, all your ample parking spot. As you can see, there's 3 truckers here right now. So I want to find out if this is a 24-hour location, because you would have a lot of truckers are working at night. There's the drive-through. It's a very clean location, located at 3929 South El Camino Real in San Clemente. We're right here on the border between Orange County, San Diego County. Again, right now it's for sale on the open market, but they're going to have a sale on February 6th for the trustee. The property's in foreclosure. So if you wanted to bid on it at the trustee sale, that's on February 6th at 9 a.m. and that would require an all-cash transaction. So you'd have to bring, I guess, a cashier's check or a check. It has to be an all-cash transaction at the trustee sale that would occur on February 6th, 2025 at 9 a.m. if they do have the sale. Sometimes we have to call a day before, a couple days before, just to make sure that the sale's gonna still occur. Now, right now, it's being marketed by the Trustor, the current landlord, at $5,890,000, and the NOI on the property is $174,000. That's at a $295 cap. The lease ends November 30th, 2025. So that's only about 10 to 11 months from now. For part of your due diligence would be to call Carl's Jr. and just see what is the probability of them renewing on the options. There's 3 5-year options, 10% rent increases every 5 years, so the rent goes up. In the marketing package, it says that the rent is below market. Placer AI said this is 1 out of 6 Carl's Jr. properties, number 1 out of 6 in 15 miles. So this is 1 out of 6 in 15 miles. Out of 982 stores, this is the 45th. So it's in the top 5%. Just commonsensically, there's a lot of surfers here. And this is kind of the last stop in South Orange County before there's any more fast food you got to drive about 15 to maybe 30 minutes all the way to Oceanside. So this is kind of the last stop. And again, this was Carl Karcher's crown jewel, Carl's Jr., because he lived in Cypress Shores right across the street. So he had a lot of pride in this location. And I believe the family has owned the property since 1970. So this is kind of a generational property. Whoever buys it, you're getting involved in a deal that hasn't been for sale since the 1970s. And originally it was with the Karcher family. If you were to bid on this at the foreclosure sale, at the trustee sale, I, of course, would come in a lot less than what the current Trustor landlord is asking, $5,890,000. I would come in at about $2,485,714. I would come in at about a 7 cap on $174,000 rent. If there's no minimum bid, we'd have to find out from the trustee, I think at the day or the day before, if there's a minimum bid. But again, probably the price you'd want to bid is much less than current landlord Trustor is asking in the open market. And again, the foreclosure sale is going to be on February 6, 2025 at 9 a.m. So definitely call me if you want to start to research it. We would have to order a title commitment just to find out if there's any tax liens, if there's other, how much is the current loan on the property, encumbrances, and we can do that on your behalf with our associate Doug Murphy over at Commonwealth. Call me on my cell, 760-803-6464, 760-803-6464, and we'll help you research, do your due diligence. It's the only major fast food. Once you leave Orange County, the only other fast food you're going to hit, Oceanside, and that's about 15 to 30 minutes down the road. Pretty good reasons why you would want to own this asset. But again, there's a very short primary lease term left, so you'd have to make contact. We'd have to make contact with Carl's Jr. to find out what is the likelihood they're going to renew on the lease. Because in November, they can either stay, they can move, but it sounds like a solid location. But that's something you'd have to consider. That's a risk you'd have to consider. Karcher started Carl's Jr., I think it was 1956. And before that, he had a restaurant. And then he started Carl's Jr., this concept, which were smaller stores, right around 1956. He started with hot dogs, right? And I think he put his car up. He put his car up as collateral to buy a hot dog stand, and that's how he got into it. But there's the store, Carl's Jr. They've been in Southern California since, like I said, 1956, so they're very well known throughout Southern California. An amazing location. You're right here in South Orange County. If you're in Orange County, why not get a Carl's Jr. right in your backyard? It'd be awesome. You just drive over here and check out your asset. So if you're in San Clemente, Orange County, and you're interested in trying to bid on this at the foreclosure sale, if it happens, let me know, and we'll go with you to the foreclosure sale. I'm probably going to go regardless because I want to see, if it happens, who ends up purchasing this asset. It's super clean location. You got the 5 freeway, right? Heading south and north, south towards San Diego, north towards, Orange County. So it's right off the freeway. Probably In-N-Out wanted to be in this location very bad at one point, but Carl's Jr. got the location. Right over there, you got Rip Curl. Rip Curl's right there, their store, because all the surfers going to Trestles and Cottons, they're going to Rip Curl for surf wax, whatever it may be. We got a pretty nice stack already here in the drive-through, which is good. And try to get you a full, complete circle of the location. Let's keep moving along here. As you can see, there's the trucks. So let's try to go inside if we can. All right, let's go take a look inside if we can get inside. I've eaten here when I was younger, you know, when I was surfing. This was kind of the place to go. Let's take a look inside if we can. All right, seating. All right, and there you go. There's the Carl's Jr. There's the order board there. It looks good. It's definitely a Carl's Jr.
I want Net Lease TV.
Woo! Right, so we're just checking out the location. It's got a lot of table space here, which is amazing. And I remember when this was built, I think it was built, like I said, in the 70s, early 80s, but it's still very clean. I mean, everything's still looks amazing. It doesn't look dated or anything. It looks like a very clean location. So you'd be getting into something, like I said, right here in Orange County. If you're in Orange County, this is a perfect property. And it hasn't come up. It's never been sold, I don't think. So, all right here, there's some bike racks. There's some area. I don't know if they could put tables out here during the summer, but it's got a little patio area, which is pretty cool. I don't know if the city would allow them to put little tables out here. I can't remember at one time if they did have tables, but it's a cool little patio area. If you ride your bike down here, surfers ride their bike, they can lock up their bike and go to Carl's Jr. after they go surfing. And so it's just amazing parking lot. Again, check that out. Look at all the room. Now, I think they said something that there could be a possibility you could get another drive-through. I don't know how possible that is, but I do believe I read something like that. Now I'm going to bring you over. I'm going to go to the trail at Trestles, and I'll show you where the trail is, and we'll check that out, and then we'll drive by Carl Karcher's house, which is right across the street in Cypress Shores. I used to be his neighbor. In fact, I cooked hamburgers for him on one Easter, which was, he used to give out little coupons, and he'd give us coupons. Great guy. One of the nicest guys, you know, Carl Karcher. All right, so there's the trail. There's the southbound freeway heading towards Oceanside and San Diego. All right, here's the Trestles Trail. I'm going to try to walk over there so you can see it. And again, this is famous Trestles Trail for surfers. If you're a surfer in Southern California, you know Trestles. I've surfed there several times since I lived here in San Clemente. I was on the San Clemente surf team many years ago when I was in high school, and we used to surf here all the time. But there you go, guys are surfing. They're getting hungry. They're coming up after a hard day's surf, and they're going to the Carl's Jr. There's the trail. There's just no surfers here. Waves must not be good today or something. But there it is. The Carl's Jr. is right across the freeway. You can kind of see, there's the Rip Curl, but you can kind of see over there, over that way is the Carl's Jr. You just go over this to the left and it's right there. So it's well positioned. All right, so I'm going into Cypress Shores just to give you a view of Carl Karcher's old house. We built a house in here, and we own a house here in Cypress Shores. Just to show you how close Carl Karcher during the 80s lived to this location, the Carl's Jr., right off of Cristanitos in San Clemente. I'm going to just show you a quick picture of his house in the community where we own a home. This is also where Nixon lived. This is the Western White House. All right, we're coming into Cypress Shores. Beautiful day. You got a beautiful view of the ocean. It's a great community. Anyway, there's Carl Karcher's house. He doesn't live there anymore, but it's right there. That was Carl Karcher's house. And in fact, I made him hamburgers one Easter. Down here we have a park, and I made Carl hamburgers. He doesn't live here, of course, anymore, or his family doesn't own the property. They sold it. But during the 80s, he was right here next to that Carl's Jr. So that was kind of the family's pride and joy. So it's definitely a historic Carl's Jr. Okay, so there's the Western White House. There's where Nixon used to live. And there's Cotton's Trail. But right over there, you can't really see it. I'll try to do an overhead of the property. But it's right here as well. Next to that Carl's Jr., you had Nixon's Western White House, and that's Cotton's Estates. But again, I'll try to do an overhead or a picture in this video. There's another view of Carl's Jr.'s previous home. Family doesn't own it, but right across the street, as we're going out, is the Carl's Jr. that is for sale. So it's right here. I mean, it's only 5 minutes away from where he lived. So when he built it, I think it was a very special location for him, and it was kind of his trophy location. Regarding financing for Carl's Jr., we love Carl's Jr. Rates are dropping. 10-year notes been dropping as of late. And right now we're right around 6 to 6 7/8 for a 5, 7, 10-year fixed with a 25 to 30-year AM. We can do the IO, interest only as well. We'll go 50 to 75% max loan to value with like a 120, 130 minimum debt coverage. If you want to talk to AI assistant, if I'm not in, you can talk to Tony on our website, the little robot. He'll give you pricing, and but we could also meet at any one of our offices here in Southern Cal or do a go-to meeting. Just give me a ring, Chris Marabella, 760-803-6464. Well, that's it for this episode of Net Lease TV. I hope you enjoyed it. This is an amazing Carl's Jr. I'd love to go with you to the foreclosure sale on February 6th at 9 a.m. to bid on it. If you have cash, let's do it. Call me, 760-803-6464. Signing off from San Clemente, Net Lease TV. Woo!
Net Lease TV.
Woo!